Welcome to Faith and Fitness Magazine. We are traveling across North America today down to Cancun, Mexico, and I'm very pleased to be able to welcome Mario Escobar, who owns a gym there called Dare You to Move. Mario, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm so glad, Brad, for being here. I'm very thankful with God because give me this opportunity.
Share a little bit about your own personal history.
When I was 18, I grow, as much as many people in Mexico that grow a non-Christian, don't having a relationship with God. And when I was 18, a missionary team came from United States, and they invited me for a special service in a church. They were so friendly. They were, like playing football and soccer, and they start to talk and speak about Jesus and having a relationship with Jesus. So I start to think in my heart that he can have a relationship with us. So that night I gave my life to Jesus and my heart, and then everything changed. So I knew Jesus and accepted him as my savior that night. After that, couple months later, I started to involve in missions. They invite me for a special service in Cuba. So I went to Cuba with them. That's how I started the ministry in Mexico.
You said that after you had your salvation experience with Christ, that everything changed. Give us a little more understanding of what you mean by everything changed.
In Cancun, it's an area that is a lot of party, drugs, alcohol. So that was part of my that I was involved. It was a lot of bondages on this area. So when I came to Christ, He take out all of those bondages from my life and restore my heart and change my life in that way.
At some point, you actually had an opportunity to come to the United States and do some work as well. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. When I started involved in missions, I was part of one missionary organizations called Youth with a Mission, and I was involved with them in Nashville, and in the process of starting a new ministry in Mexico too. So yeah, I was there in 2004, uh, stay there, and then I did an outreach for India with this organization. So after that, I was involved in, mobilizing people in Mexico and people from America, coming to Mexico and Mexicans going to the nations too. So it was part of my calling and my ministry here when I was there in the States. So I have many, many very good friends, family in the United States, and yeah, that was part of my my calling.
I know a lot of times Christians perceive that they are the missionary and nobody else goes into other countries, but it sounds like you've actually, you live in Mexico, you've been to the United States, Cuba, you said India. Talk a little bit about just how people from all over the world who are Christian also have a heart for reaching out around the world.
Yes, it's incredible, but it's this vision of changing from being a missionary field for a missionary force. As Mexico, we've been receiving missionaries for many, many years, but then all these seeds that all many of you put here, now it's, like a new harvest, and it's a missions force that can, continue the work that you've been putting this seed here.
You have a fitness ministry.
In 2012, I was in a very deep depression. I have a family problem and I get very deep depressed. So, one of the things that people, the doctor said is that I can start to do exercise. So I start to do some exercise and I start to work on the fitness as a coach. I start like, like a football coach with my kids, American football. And then I start to practice CrossFit, and I start to work on different certifications for being involved in a gym. So I was in the beginning, the vision was start to training the kids so they can have opportunities on at the college. In Mexico, it's scholarships for kids that play football and for kids that play flag football for girls. So I start to work, with the kids so they can have this opportunity. And now we have different testimonies of kids that already finished their studies and are, people that are doing something good through the sport. So the gym has very a focus on this in the very beginning. Yeah, the gym started in 2013. I get certified by CrossFit, like level 2 of CrossFit, and then I get a certificate by TRX, yeah, the functional group training, personal training. I get certified by fitness, that have here in Mexico too. I used to do a lot of work with mobility and help the people on when they have an injury or restoring. So I have very good friends that works as physical therapists, and I involve with them for help them on the process of that having an athlete going back to their sport. Oh
So
yeah.
you're actually a Christian influence among the TRX and the CrossFit community. Can you share a bit about that?
In the beginning, I just work with the regular clients that come to the gym and help them on having a good health. And but then I start to realize that that's not enough. There is more deep things and histories that need something more than just fitness. So it's not just physical need, so it's spiritual needs in people, and it's when through the fitness like T-Rex or CrossFit or some muscle or helping the kids going to the school was not enough. So then is when God gave me this passion and vision for mobilize this generation in a different way. I will say that we have a new vision on what fitness is and how we can be management of the physical, but and the spiritual too.
How did you come up with the title Dare You to Move?
In Spanish, we say reto. It's like a desafío. It's like a challenge, and it's reto a moverte. So in Spanish, reto a moverte is like a challenging the people to move and to do something. But because uh, Jesus came for bring us life and to have movement, create us for have different movements, and that's exciting. And He wants us having us life and having this dynamic for bring His gospel to the people.
Let's talk a little bit about the city of Cancun. People go there from the United States, from all around the world, to enjoy the beach, to soak up the sun, to have a good time, which you've already mentioned. Talk a little bit about the people that live there.
We have the Cancun of the beach, the party, all this part that is beautiful, the ocean, the bad part that is all the alcohol and drugs that sometimes is involved with the youth. But in the other side, we had an area of very poor people. They don't have a house sometimes, and they have a lot of need. It's a lot of problems with kids that lives alone because their parents go for work. I would love to share some of the testimonies or the histories of people that lives around Cancun in the poor places in the Yucatan Peninsula. It's people that came from different parts of Mexico, but we have still having very small villages around Cancun that still having these Mayan traditions and speak their tongue Mayan. So it's the Mayan culture around the pyramids and having the need of knowing Jesus too.
Describe the spiritual climate of Cancun.
The name of Cancun means snake, like a snake house. Okay, so that means we have a lot of bondages from the past, a lot of witchcraft from the past, and a very dark situation with the human sacrifices of the Mayans in the cenotes. So, still reminding all these situations spiritually here, it's many churches in Cancun and different places, but predominate the Catholic movement here and many Protestant churches, but a lot of needs of that we can see a development of the society in Cancun. But churches are working hard. The local church where I am is doing an amazing work on this part, involving with many churches trying to work on that. And Ready to Move, it's part of that. It's helping, the churches to mobilize, and we have a vision for start to do uh, something for involve the fitness and the churches together too.
How dangerous is it for somebody to visit Cancun?
Yes, Cancun is a very touristic area, so that means the government put a lot of effort on uh, on having the tourists being safe. But of course, Mexico is having a very hard situation with with these security things. But Cancun is very protected because it's a lot of money income through the tourists here in Mexico. So that's the reason why uh, it's more safe here in Cancun.
What would you say are the key things how people can pray for your country?
I will ask for pray for my country, for the security, for wisdom for the authorities, and even for the work that they are doing together with the United States. They are trying to having a good relationship. They are having a good relationship now, and that the church can do their part for having a new culture. We are having this passion for having people that is involved in fitness and states coming down to Mexico and helping us bringing the gospel to with the orphans, with the adult people in the schools, bringing this joy and having this movement. We would like to see with fitness people that they came and use their fitness abilities for building a house for people.
To all of our Faith and Fitness Magazine viewers, come alongside the Christians in Cancun that are doing ministry through fitness. The everyday person that's visiting Cancun for a vacation, if they want to get a workout in at Dare You to Move, is that even possible?
They can come and do some workout with us, of course. We will love it.
How did you get into a parking garage?
It's it's fun because I was looking for a place that was not very expensive, and I asked for this building, having one of their areas, and I say, oh, it's not, it's I think was too much for that part. But they tell me, oh, Mario, we have an area that nobody use. Maybe you can come and see. And it was an area that nobody know that exists. So they bring me down and show me this area and say, "Oh, it's fantastic! It's big enough, and I can use it." So it's when we start the gym at this garage down the road, down the building.
Yeah, well, we do articles talking about garage gym church, and so I think you may win the prize on the biggest garage gym church.
Of course, yeah.
Hey,
It's a big garage.
share a little bit about some of the testimonies.
I have one lady that came with a lot of pain in their back, and the physical therapist asked, told her that maybe she can come with us to work out and help on, help their core, and she came with a lot of, part of this pain, and she say, Mario, I come with this pain. I try with pills. I try with different doctors, and doesn't go. I cannot sleep. So she came for work, and then after a few months, now she's playing volleyball. She's like 60 years old, and she's playing volleyball, and she feels fantastic, in that part. And it's how this healing come for her. And then, is when they come from that process and say, you can be healing too, not just physical, but spiritual too. And it's one way that we give, like testimony of that this healing came from God too. We are very soon to start a program for discipleship with people on Wednesday nights. We are close.
The discipleship program that you're getting ready to start, is that an idea that you had, or is that a response to people saying, I want more?
Yes, it's a response for what is people asking for. What happening is people is asking me, Mario, I'm good with fitness, but I feel sometimes at night I have a lot of anxiety, I have some depressed problems, and it's when I wanna, they know more, but they need to be in the same way that you are in a process of working out. They need a process of start to building a relationship with Jesus. So it's when I want to start by them, we're gonna start this program that you can be in to start to know God, and then you can be healing of those specific areas like depression, anxiety, and finding that is something more, and it's fitness that is great part of our management of our bodies, but it's we need to manage our spirits too. So we're gonna start this program very soon.
I talk with a lot of Christian leaders, and they're often concerned about being overbearing. They don't want to be forceful with the gospel, but it's good to hear you share that when we just do it naturally, when we live it out in front of people, they have an appetite, and that appetite grows in your presence.
When they start to working as a community, and it's when we start to know, each other, and it's when people start to, when you are the coach in one way, you are like a mentor, and it's when you can influence in their lives through this, and they have sometimes a lot of questions, so it's not just giving them instructions. And we have one important rule here that I didn't say, but we have a rule that we say, uh, listen, obey, and never give up. So it's like you listen the coach, you obey the instructions, and the most important thing, never give up. And we bring this philosophy on the spiritual too.
Mario, wow, that's really good to hear. We're talking in this summer 2025 issue of Faith and Fitness magazine about listening to God and being able to hear the unique qualities of God's voice. And so it's really powerful to hear you to be able to articulate that. I've been speaking today with Mario Escobar, the founder and owner of Dare You to Move. I invite you, when you go to Cancun next, to visit his gym and to discover the great work that he's doing. Mario, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.